All right, welcome everyone with Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Spice and Wolf, episode 1. I have waited so long to be able to say that. And I now can. We're watching it, and we're not even watching the original series, we're watching the remake because it got a remake.
It got a remake.
Holy shit.
It got brotherhooded.
Yep, and it's probably, I think the plan is for it to just go the whole distance.
I'm pretty sure the studio just has this as their projects right now. Yeah.
Which is just crazy, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
I'm very happy for you because in a lot of ways this is one of those anime where I've heard all the memes. Season 3 never.
Yep.
Why would you worship Haruhi when you already have a goddess? You know,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, it's just objectively better.
Yeah. But I have not actually seen a single episode.
No, he hasn't.
The original.
No, he hasn't.
Of anything with regards to Spice and Wolf.
Did I ever show you the What Does the Fox Say AMV?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, it's out there. It exists, even though, Holo's not a fox, but, point still stands. It's fantastic. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But,
but also, big thing for all of you OG fans of the original dub. They brought the whole cast back, apparently, for the dub. And that's what we're going to watch, because apparently...
Of course we are.
The dub is the dub. It's amazing.
It's J. Michael Tatum serenading you on a trip through the countryside.
I mean, yeah, what's not to like?
It's fantastic.
Yeah. I'm very excited to check this out. I would also very much love to have a relaxing anime with, a more kind of world building / like... whimsical adventure with maybe a tad of Willy Won't They? I feel like that's what I have to look forward to.
Interesting.
I think.
I can't remember what I haven't told you about this, so I'm not going to say anything just in case.
I don't remember really too much because when did the original come out?
The original came out in 2008.
Yeah, and you are not only an original watcher, you're a light novel reader.
Not all of the light novels,
okay.
But I started reading the light novels because I was like, okay, season 3 is never going to happen. Gotta continue.
Yeah.
And I read a few. It was like 2 or 3 or something. I think 3.
3 from when you left off at the anime? Okay,
yep.
Cool.
But then it's like, oh, hey, they're doing it all over and from the beginning and stuff. So,
apparently they left stuff out? Or I think they just changed things? How did they do it?
As far as I know, there was a single light novel that they just entirely skipped past.
Oh, wow.
So it'll probably be very noticeable when we get to that point, because then I'll be like, oh, I have never seen this before. But there were also some other little details that they did change as well. And so I'm curious to see how much of that remains the same.
Right. Given that this is a very large source material thing to adapt.
Oh, yeah. And the source material is done.
Oh, it's done.
As far as I know. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, then it's the perfect time to do it, too.
Yep.
But, all right, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
I want to hear a story.
A story.
Have I ever told you about the giant salt pond?
Yeah, I know that one.
Well,
What?
Wait,
I'll tell you an old one.
is this a mom and a child?
The tale of a distant village. Once there was a village far to the south. The wolf was trustworthy and struck a promise with the village youth. It would stay and ensure that they would always have bountiful harvests of wheat. None know where it began, but when the villagers saw ripe wheat stalks swaying in the wind, they took to saying, "The wolf is running." When the wind
Okay.
caught in the ears of wheat, they were trampled by the wolf. Many years went by just like that, but slowly the villagers' memory of the pact they had struck with the wolf began to fade. Over time, stories of the wolf...
It's so
Wow.
beautiful.
This animation, too.
Yeah, and the music.
The humans developed new methods of growing wheat for themselves, till they no longer had need for belief in the wolf that had long brought them bountiful...
Wait. What? Oh my god.
You are tripping, man.
Yeah, there's...
So she's the wolf?
Yeah.
So is that their daughter, then?
Yeah. So,
Whoa, what? Oh, I feel so comfy.
This is a very comfy show.
The sky should stay clear till tonight. Rain would be bad.
Harvest
for you.
Festival, Dakota card. Oh.
Word of a pagan festival, apparently happening in a village nearby.
Really now?
Heretics, the lot of them. They don't believe in the great God that created our world.
Fun. So did he just smuggle her in with the
Pagan
furs?
village, huh?
Well, who do we have here? You must be...
Your favorite traveling merchant, Kraft Lawrence.
Kraft
Like
Lawrence.
harvest this year.
The wolf is there! The wolf is there! The wolf is resting in that stack of wheat! Who will be the lucky man to catch the wolf this year? He's possessed by who? Let's get him!
All right. So this is their tradition.
Yep.
But then, is she just in the wagon right now, and that's why he was talking?
Hey, Lawrence!
Damn, all the hands.
Yep.
Won't be allowed out for a week.
Damn.
A wig.
That's a lot of Trini silver for a rural area. I'm impressed.
Again, we owe it all to our new lord.
Is your price negotiator holding up to expectations?
If you're talking about Yare, he's doing splendidly. Would you like to stay the night here?
That's a generous offer, but sadly the items I purchased have a rather strict deadline for payment. I hope to take you up on it next time.
Cool. So he's basically the guy that's moving things around primarily.
Yep.
And he makes his money by taking things that aren't as valuable over here and selling them for more value over there. Pretty simple.
Going from place to place.
How does he survive, though? He needs to eat. Like,
I hope you like all the fresh vegetables I picked out for you.
oh, okay. Okay, so
Yeah, probably
foraging? That's not enough. Okay, so he keeps some jerky
Yeah.
or something. Okay, okay. I was going to say, he's going a whole day without food, and...
He probably just has like a bag further in the cart or something.
Right, I just thought it would have come up in the inspection, like... Yeah, okay. Okay, so she was in there, but he didn't know.
Right.
Wake up! Is this a joke? Sleeping in someone else's cart? Get up!
Whoa.
Tis a good moon. Have you no wine?
What? Tis...
Oh, is that meat? What an awful waste.
Get back! Are you a demon girl?
I snuck into your carriage because I wished to leave the village.
Ah,
It seems we're already gone.
post-inspection then.
It's been some time since I've appeared in this form. Yet it still appears pleasant. Isn't it a lovely name? I've never heard a whisper of any other with the name Holo in my lifetime, so pray inform me.
Yes.
The name of the god of the harvest around here.
Yeah.
Are you a god?
Yet I can tell at this moment you think I am simply a strange girl locked away since birth. Am I mistaken?
Whoa.
You would be wrong.
Whoa.
I was born in the north.
Did she read his mind?
My birthplace is called Yoitsu. Holo, the wise wolf of Yoitsu, refers to none but me. Have you ever visited that place? Well, I do not dislike my human form. It lacks fur.
Well, this is a sitch.
A whole...
You need to get out of my cart.
If you're just a girl, I'll turn you over to the church. Those taken by the devil are prone to woe.
I hate the accursed church.
Fine.
Yeah,
Let's
fine.
ask the village chief. You can stay with me if you prove you're Holo. That's the least I could ask.
Truly, that is all.
True. If you are the wise wolf, perhaps you'd be able to bring me some good fortune.
The price is easy. Human blood. Otherwise, a small amount of wheat will do.
Ah,
Wheat's fine.
well, time for
Yeah.
big dog.
Uh-huh.
Is she not here?
Okay, interesting.
Saving that for now.
Hey, I said I'd see you later, friend.
Yeah, so not doing the traditional stuff anymore. It's
Yeah.
all the pomp of it.
Your things on the table.
Thank you very much. I thought you were supposed to be locked away in the granary for a week. Aren't you worried Holo will escape from the last sheaf of wheat or something?
That's just a legend.
Yeah.
It's not like there's a real wolf living in our fields of wheat.
Yeah, no, that'd be weird.
Yeah.
Now drink to friendship, to reuniting with the most discerning traveling merchant that I know,
Aha.
And to you.
to a bright tomorrow for us all.
He's so dispassionate. He's just like, yeah, all right. You know.
Yep.
Isn't it kind of crazy to think about how much the village and I have changed since way back in those days? We've got merchants from larger towns lining up in droves for our wheat. Hey! The harvest will stay good! Next year and everyone after that!
As long as Holo stays happy.
Who cares about some silly wolf? We got no use for Holo anymore!
Yeah.
What was that about you? There's no use for me.
So this place doesn't need Holo anymore, really.
What is this I hear about me?
I knew it.
There's hardly a need to be surprised. If there is a larger sheaf of wheat nearby than the final one harvested, I can move there without being seen by human.
Whoa.
Are you frightened of me now?
Well,
Well, you know. He did see something.
Yep. I love that we don't actually get to fully see it.
He might have spoke too soon, Jacob.
in spite of that, I was afraid of you.
He reacted in a perfectly natural way. Humans oft show fear at a beast my size. Few are the men who could maintain their composure. Some years I had to allow the land to rest. Thus, the people of the village decided I was fickle in demeanor. Their feelings for me have darkened in recent years. They have no need of me, and I have nothing else to give.
Sure.
So what keeps her alive then?
Where do you go after this?
You want to see the world now?
I'd like to go home.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
It's safe to come out.
It is about time. Oh, such a cramped space made it difficult for me to change my clothes.
Hey, hold on.
Oh.
Took me 10 years to save up for them.
As it should for tailoring and.
Is this her iconic outfit?
One of them.
Show your talent as a merchant.
I recognize it. I definitely recognize it.
Perhaps it's fate at work.
Well, I look forward to it, Mr.
Lawrence.
Lawrence,
Craft
yeah.
Lawrence.
Ah, Lawrence. I will ensure that Bard's.
Yes. Yes.
You'll have to work and earn your keep.
She's like, that sounds exciting.
I
Yep.
am not so shameless to partake of your food without offering anything in return.
Shake on it.
Yep.
Might I say,
No.
it is quite cramped with the two of us.
That's not what that was for.
Yeah.
We have up here.
All
I
right.
love it.
Oh, nice. Like it's a fairy tale storybook. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We've
Yes.
met Holo. We've met Kraft.
Yep.
And we're going on an adventure.
We are
We're
indeed.
going to be traveling the world, eventually taking her home. Eventually, these two are going to start a family, maybe, or they're going to have a nightly tryst of some kind that will lead
Something.
to a,
Yeah.
very clearly obscuring the features of this young girl so that we don't know for sure whether she has the ears, the tail, or anything like that.
Yep.
And then also has the silver hair of this,
Right.
foxy dad,
Exactly.
Kraft.
Yeah. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Like
So that's new content for you then.
Oh yeah, the whole the daughter and the telling the story and everything. That's why I was flipping the frick out so much
yeah.
because I'm like, holy shit, they're actually saying that we're going there.
So is
oh
this
my God.
basically a promise of we're going to adapt the whole thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like,
it's fun because what it kind of does for me is it sets expectations in that this is not the kind of story where you need to like guess what's going to happen. It's guess when things are going to happen.
Right.
And it's the
enjoy the journey as it happens.
Enjoy the process to that point. Now, the sucky thing though, I didn't see no craft at that table.
Yeah, that is something I noticed too.
So I also didn't see any evidence of him necessarily staying there, or having any reason to be there or have been there.
So this is the here's what I'm thinking is the sort of like the sad maybe explanation for it is that because she's this ancient wise wolf,
she's immortal.
She's immortal, and maybe their child also is, right?
Yeah. And thus so they can live forever.
They can live forever, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, totally.
And then you get kind of an Aragorn Arwen situation, you know, and then it's the
or even not even that, just the idea that like if she's a person of interest to the religious folk, then anybody that's harboring her will eventually get hunted as well.
Sure.
And maybe it's a lot harder to hunt someone that can teleport through wheat
than it is to hunt a human.
A regular human. So
yeah,
that's possible as well. Yep. So I can see where the eventual conflict will come up. For now, we're going on our wheat bazaar adventure.
That's right. Yep.
I love the simple mechanics of she is basically an ancient being who has very much investment in the customs of this area, but also has the contrast between the perspective of someone that hasn't traveled a lot, but has actual history. So therefore, she's going to be constantly comparing things that she doesn't know to things that she does know.
Hence, you can have the
comedy. And you can have limitless banter with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you've got Hello the Wise Wolf, but she, talks like she's coming out of the New King James Bible or something because...
She sounds very, very funny when she's talking all like, art thou and that.
Right, exactly. Because that's how people talk, right? Yeah.
But I also noticed she wasn't talking like that when she was talking to probably her kid, which means that we're going to see a lot of ways in which she'll change as well. She's not this completely immutable being with no investment in the human side of things relationally. Right. So that's also very exciting and fun.
And the OP, I gotta say, I loved it. Like that. Those were some big shoes to fill. You did a great job.
Cool.
Did a fantastic job. It was just so nice to hear the characters again.
I'm sure it was. Yeah. I love J. Michael Tatum. Who plays Holo?
I believe her name is Brina Palencia.
Okay. Well, she does a great job. I think the part that I love the most is the way in which their emotions feel so, I don't know, natural?
Yeah.
I think one of the issues I have with anime dubs, and this is, again, probably a problem that's not as much of a deal anymore, but they just
with the older ones.
They just really have their work cut out for them in trying to match the lip flaps and then also add emphasis and emote in the specific times that make sense.
Yep.
And, you might just get directed out of the one that makes actually the most sense.
Yeah.
Because, that's just the way it is.
Yep.
But J. Michael Tatum is also a director too. Like he's a voice director. So
because for Steins Gate he did the
translation but I'm saying he could have potentially also been directing for this.
Yeah, like helping, making sure that the translation for the dub also
or not the translation, really just the actual the cuts and the takes that they do are the ones that are that sound the best, and feel the best. I definitely love the way that he talks, but I also noticed something in his acting. Kraft is a very dispassionate person.
Yes.
He does not get worked up.
Nope.
In a way that almost sounds sad. He really doesn't seem to care too much about any of this.
Right. Like the most, emotion that we got from him is when he, freaked
shock.
out. Yeah, shock when, Holo did her whole transformation thing.
So, is it important how old he is? Because if not, I'd love to just know.
I don't.
Because he's got anime body and face.
Yeah,
and stuff.
I don't actually know how.
I can't tell if he's meant to be 20 or if he's meant to be 45. He could be anywhere between those
Yeah,
ages right now.
like
logically, I would deduce that he is nowhere near 20 just by the nature of him being an accomplished merchant. Now.
right, and having like taught this other kid.
Well, right,
Yeah.
but the idea of that time of, oh yeah, way back when, and that was when I wasn't a good merchant.
Sure.
But then also the fact that that kid still looked like an adult back then.
Right, like it wasn't
So-
a lot of time. Yeah,
I
would
guess maybe 10 years ago, which then I could maybe say that he's
like 30 now.
27 at the youngest, and then maybe
Like 35
at the oldest.
Yeah, I've kind of always pictured him as being around that kind of like 30 years old kind of
But
age.
I feel like that is literally the most projecting kind of age range
even
possible, 'cause
even
that's
when I
literally,
our
our kind of age range, you
right,
know?
but like even when I was like much younger, right
still
when I
got
like
that
watched the
vibe.
original series, yeah, because it's
Because
that
I just
kind
want to
of
know, like, what was his life as a merchant between all this? Because he doesn't seem to need people.
yeah, and maybe that's the
Yeah.
other part of me where it's like, oh, that's kind of why I think of it as being this of the sort of like, doing well for himself, single bachelor, right, where it's the all right, I go around and I do my thing, I can travel on the road
Yeah.
and everything because I'm young enough that it's not like a
Right.
true inconvenience, but also
The idea, the prospect of Holo being around him was completely not an issue.
uh-huh.
He has no fear of her in any real sense of it. I don't get him.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any goals. He doesn't have any strong, I would say, like thing that he's avoiding or anything.
Sure.
It just feels like he's kind of dispassionate.
He's just, I mean, hey,
Maybe he's just found his lot in life and he figured all that stuff out, and now
Yeah.
it's just
maybe now it's about to change, or
maybe
get
he doesn't.
complicated.
Well, right, but then again, if he's got this, weathered, traveled kind of thing here, I feel like he knows how potentially wild and different things could end up getting because of this, but he also doesn't seem
Right.
to have any emotion or anything for that either.
Yeah, he doesn't. It doesn't seem like he's ignorant of how this
Yeah.
potentially could change things because
Yeah.
he knows about the whole thing of like, oh, the church would be after her.
Yeah.
While at the same time, it being something where he's not so set in his ways that he's like not up for a bit of potential adventure.
But there's
You know?
nothing. There's nothing in. There's nothing.
It's not
hinting-
excitement that causes
Yeah, there's
him to do
nothing.
it.
There's nothing in the way that he is portrayed here that shows that he's particularly excited about her coming with him.
No, it's the all right. Well, if you're gonna travel with me, then you got to pay your way.
Oh, right, but there was never a thing of get out of the cart. You can't be here. He never at any point was like, you need to
Oh.
leave.
Sure, yeah, like there's the initial confrontation of like, who are you, demon possessed girl or something like that. But then that's
He's more
basically
just
it.
concerned for her potential safety, if anything. But even then, I guess the next episode is literally going to clear
Yeah.
this up because he's going to start making some rules of like, okay, no ears, no tail.
Here's a hat, wear it at all times.
Well, yeah. I handle all negotiations with regards to things there. I know that you probably think of yourself as some kind of, important. I am important. It's like, no. I get that. Yes,
But
absolutely.
I'll show you
But
how
this
things
is my
work here.
area of expertise.
Right.
We're not.
Also, we're going to be dealing with trading my goods, so
don't eat my goods or
Right,
like,
exactly.
ruin my goods.
Yep.
You know what it might also be?
What?
He's had so many weird just things happen in
Not
general.
much phases him at this point.
Not much phases him, and it's the idea that he's like, maybe she is a goddess. You know what? Who cares? I have a deadline though. I need to get my furs to this
Right.
village by this time. I can't be bothered to waste time here. I can't be bothered.
That's kind
I
of
am
the vibe
so
that I get
on
from
that
him.
grind set of
Yeah, is
like
that,
just
like,
go get that green.
He's a merchant. He's a self-employed merchant, right? He's like, hey, I have a very particular way that things need to go.
Mm-hmm.
I look at the numbers and all that stuff, and I do all that stuff. So you got some crazy cool story. Neat. All right.
Whatever.
You're not gonna like be an expense for me though, right? You're already like, Christ, those clothes, right? So you better be worth it.
Clothes sounds great.
Yeah.
The idea that they're his, and it's like, so whose are they really?
Oh,
Are they, you own them, sure, but like, why do you have them?
I mean, it could be that he literally was just like, all right, it was really hard to afford these, but I knew that I would be able to resell them later somewhere else and get a killing off of it. You know,
what kind of merchant is he? Like,
you know, just whatever you can do. You know, like
well, I mean, sure, but
like
then he's
traveling
not
merchant. So it's not like he doesn't. Well, because
he doesn't have a specialty.
He doesn't have a specialty. He doesn't have necessarily like a reputation of like this is what I do. This, you know,
No,
it's
but the
repeat customers maybe.
No, no, totally. But what a merchant of this type does, and I'm using type vaguely here, is basically leveraging the fact that he's spending all the time moving and distributing.
Right.
So he has to not just go and sell the things. He has to then go back to the people that he took the things from initially and be like, here's your cut. Otherwise, he is literally going and buying things here and being like, my money is up in the air.
I get the feeling that's what he's doing.
Well, right, but he's doing a combination of those things at the very least sometimes, because he's not going to have money at some point. You know, the idea that he could have a point where he's like, these won't sell for this amount of time. I need to sell something, because if I don't, I'm not going to be able to eat. Because, you know, at some point, he chooses like, okay, like, it's going to be fun. But if he has $100, basically, he's going to need to keep a certain amount of money so that he can keep eating.
You're starting to clue into the stonk side of this story.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's the whole point? That's where the fun of the conflict is?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Let's Cowboy Bebop this shit with actual economics and actual, like, mechanical stuff that we have to solve here. Because I personally just see Holo as another mouth.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm really surprised that he hasn't clued into that yet.
She showed up and started eating some of his food.
Immediately ate his food. I'm like, bro.
Yep.
Like, I'm sure that's cheap, but it's probably not nothing, you know? Like,
Right. Oh, no. 100%. Everything Lawrence gets for himself is cheap. like he will spend just enough money so that he doesn't have to spend more money on replacements, you know?
He's that guy,
right? Like,
he's that guy that's like, what? Why would I need a house? I can just go shit in the forest over there. Like there's a lake over there. I can go bathe that.
There's benefits to being a traveling merchant, right? Build good business relationships. Oh yeah, you know, I'll crash at your place while I'm over here doing business and stuff.
Bro,
and then
no, traveling merchant is ass.
No,
I can bring up all
absolutely.
It's awful.
But he's up for it. You know?
He is dictated by the weather. He is dictated by the geopolitical whatevers. That random, you know, barricade of people there. They could have just decided, yeah, fuck you, stab you, and he has nothing he can do to stop that.
Maybe goes to show how he's like, wait, so she actually is the wise wolf. Okay, there could be reason to actually keep her around.
So what you're saying is that in his mind, he heard wise wolf that brings bounty, and he goes, ching, you know, like dollar signs in his eyes.
He's like, okay, she could be full of shit.
I can monetize
But
this.
she did enough to sort of verify. I mean,
well, it's weird because
big potential upside,
right? But it's weird because then the act of kindness that is shown to be something that he did was that he took expensive wheat from them a while ago, and that was their thing to say, he's a cool guy,
right? And it was actually just that he's probably I'm literally subsisting on bread and water as I'm like trying to make my way and all that stuff. So it's like, sure, is this only going to be like a 3% return on investment? I'll make it work. It's something. I'm building connections. I'm getting exposure. You know, right? Like doing all of that stuff, and now it's
right. And I'm just like, how backwards is this world that, you know, wheat is getting sold to a single guy on a wagon when, like...
Well, it's not anymore.
No, I know
it's not anymore.
I know that.
Yeah.
But I'm just making the point that, like, his capacity for making money is limited to the square footage of that wagon.
Oh, that's why he talks to his horse.
And I was going to say, and the strength of that horse.
Yeah. That's why he buys expensive clothes, you know? It's like...
Oh,
you know, sure. It's like volume to, you know, potential return, right?
Okay, I'm invested. If we go serious in this kind of stuff, this is going to be kind of cool. But all right, Holo and Kraft.
Yeah,
they're the characters. They're the story. Is there anything else?
That's about it.
That was just the world building of the legend, really.
Yeah. And that's what I love about this show, because since the performance by the main two characters for the voices is so good, right?
Yeah.
And then the rest of it is just like that kind of just relaxing, not really fantasy aesthetic, you know, just like ye olden times kind of thing. Yeah. And you can just be like, yeah, they're gonna go on a wagon and travel from place to place Is
Yeah.
it going to be slow? Absolutely. They're traveling in a fucking wagon, you know, right? Like, but it's going to be great.
This poor horse now has 40% to 70% additional of his weight added onto the cart, too.
Don't worry. He made sure the horse has equity in the company.
Ah,
You
good,
know?
good. All right, just looking out for your rights, Mr. Horse.
Yeah, that's
Did we
right.
get the horse's name?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, fun tease for the future. Really attractive.
Oh yes, they know what they're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
New character brought in immediately. Yeah, the Rule 34 on the show must be like worth its weight in gold. Like,
You know, I haven't actually checked because
liar,
No,
liar.
I should, and maybe I will now. But I
Wait,
haven't.
so then you were not even a fanfic reader of this show because you
Well,
just started
okay, so
reading.
I have a theory about fanfics. Fanfics thrive when the actual romance is bad, because then the fanfics have to go and fix it. If the romance is actually
Depending on what you mean
good,
by thriving. If you mean just it's
okay,
good versus there's a lot of it.
All right, bad
I-
romance feeds fanfics or non-existent romance or things like that. If the romance is actually very satisfying, then you don't need fanfics. It's there. It's in the fiction, right?
So we're gonna have good romance.
Well, one of the other things that I do appreciate about this show, the characters are adults.
Ah, that's
You know,
that's true.
like
that is true.
you know, you have her
just-
doing the thing of like, I'm here, I'm naked, and like he looks away, but it's not like a, you know,
Yeah.
right? Like she teases him of the, oh, are you embarrassed? You know, and it's like, no, like, I mean,
It's nice. But,
it's nice, you know,
yeah.
but yeah. So
Okay. That's a
Yeah.
good point. I need to kind of bring into context the idea that they have a kid at some point. So
Right.
this guy very much also just saw a very attractive naked woman, might have awoken something in him,
And-
and he's like,
Oh, and in a way, she probably spoke to like his unrealized kink of the, I will also help make you a lot of money.
yeah, maybe.
Allegedly,
I-
whether she'll be actually succeed in that, you know,
do want to
she
call.
promised
I do want
something
to call up
along those
one
lines.
thing though.
Yeah.
He did specifically have his mind read or something at one point. There was a point where she's like, "Oh, you see this, don't you?" And he's like, "What?" And he like looks completely shocked that she was like bang on accurate. or
Right. Whether
something.
that's like full mind reading or just like being very wise and like, you know,
Yeah, something to dine on. She takes the meat. Yeah, so simply a strange girl locked away since birth because she's like, something strange happened or what have
right.
you.
I'm talking all weird, all that stuff. and-
Well, not only that, but just she literally has ears and a tail.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why he wouldn't have heard of something like this
is if she had
because,
been locked away since
yeah,
birth.
yeah. So that's not a too
Right.
far of a logical deduction, but the way in which he was kind of like, wait, that is exactly what I'm thinking. I don't know. Maybe she does have powers of some kind.
The similar to like the situation with like the wheat of like, we have a mechanical thing that she does, but as far as like,
Explaining it.
yeah, explaining it, they don't really go into that. It's she's an ancient wise wolf. She has things that she can do,
Yeah. But it's still the kind of thing of where if she's also the MacGuffin and the main character.
Oh, yeah, she's the magical
along
girl.
here.
Yep.
Then at some point he's going to want to know.
Okay.
Okay, so when we're doing
Right.
negotiations, how did you know that he really, really didn't
Right.
want to sell that? It's like, well, you're just gonna have to. No.
Partnership.
Grabs the tail, says,
right.
"Stand back here." That is not unhand me, sir.
Right.
I will smite thee.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
No, you will tell me.
You'll get along with this show just great.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about the show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. So yeah, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb,
I'm Jacob.
and we'll see you all
Next time.